Bonjour les étudiants. This is the last video for chapter 2. This is competence 4. And the topic of this video is inversion in questions, as well as the numbers from 30 to 100, I believe. Okay, so what we were discussing last time is questions with question words like who, how, and what we discussed is that we use ESCA, right? So we use the order is question word, ESCA, and then a sentence, right? You work. Do you work? Where do you work? So the structure in English and French for questions with ESCA are very similar, right? So in French, you can ask questions three ways, right? The first is intonation, same in English. You work here? Tu travailles, right? No need for ESCA, right? The second one is ESCA, which is the most common one. And I told you it means nothing. It just means like do, you work here, do, right? Do has lost all the meaning of to do or to make. And when it comes to a question, it just means a marker to say, I'm a question. Treat me like a question. So, est-ce que, so tu travailles, that's intonation. Est-ce que tu travailles? We use est-ce que to ask a question. That's the most common way to ask a question in French. And we have inversion, which we also use in French. And in a way, est-ce que is already an inversion. You see es, ce with the little hyphen. This is c'est, it is, that is, inverted. So in a way, est-ce que is also a form of inversion. Okay. So est-ce que tu travailles le lundi? That's a question with est-ce que. And this is the inversion. Tu travailles, you're just going to flip them. Travaille tu, and put a hyphen. And the reason we put a hyphen is to mark that we're doing this on purpose, okay? We know that this is not the order in which things usually go, but I'm putting here a marker to say I'm treating this as a question. Inversion is a little bit more formal, okay? So in conversation, people usually use est-ce que, okay? So tu aimes aller au cinéma will be converted in a question as aimes-tu aller au cinéma? And the answer will be a yes or no response. Aimes-tu aller au cinéma? J'aime aller au cinéma. Voudriez-vous aller danser? Je voudrais aller danser. So the answer will just put the subject and the verb in the right order, right? Subject, verb, and it would change, it would modify it depending on how the conversation is going, right? So if it's saying you, I will say I. If it's saying vous, you know I have two options, meaning I can be referring to one person, like in you in English, you can be referring to one person or a group of people, right? Are you okay, sir? Or are you all here for the test, right? It means plural and singular. So the answer for vous can be either I, because they're referring to me with respect, vous, or all of you all, nous, we. So voudriez-vous aller danser can be je voudrais or oui, nous aimons aller danser. Okay? One thing that you have to take into account is that you cannot use inversion and ESCA in the same question. You have to make a choice. Either you use inversion or you use ESCA. Joues-tu de la guitare? Right? Inversion. Or est-ce que tu joues de la guitare? Okay? So when you do inversion in French, sometimes you have too many vowels together. And in French, the structure that is predominant is consonant vowel, consonant vowel. So what happens when you have two vowels together? We were going to come up with a consonant. We use T in order to separate them. So without the T, does he speak English? Will sound parle français, parle l'anglais. So we need that T to make sure to separate both parle and il. The same for to work. Does she work here? Travaille elle ici. We need that T instead of travaille, we say travaille-t-elle ici. And that will happen with um, personal pronouns that begin with E or I. Well, there's only two, right? Il, elle, or on, okay? And they're plural versions. See in here with is he from here, is she from here, we don't need an extra T because we already have a consonant in order to break it up. So if it ends with a consonant, you don't have to break it up. If it ends with a vowel, you need to use a T to break up those vowels. Okay? Another thing about inversion that is different from English is that you cannot do inversion with anything other than the personal pronouns. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle, plural. If you have professor, for example, and in French, in English, we can say, is the professor here? We're doing inversion, right? Is professor here? In French, you cannot do that. So what we do is we do a double. So you will introduce the subject and then do the inversion with the personal pronoun of that object. So the professor, is he here? That's how you would do it in French. You cannot say in French, est le professeur français, right? That's not something you say. So you will do double. You will introduce the subject and then you will say, is he? The professor, is he French? Marie, does she speak French? Right? Marie, parle-t-elle français? Ophélie et Julie, étudie-t-elle ici? So it's a double, right? Introducing and then doing the inversion with the personal pronoun. Les cours sont-ils difficiles? The courses, are they hard? And the inverted form of il y a, which means there is, there are, is y a-t-il. Y a-t-il? Is there a café in the neighborhood? Y a-t-il un café dans le quartier? Se becomes S, like Esca, right? Es un bon café? Is this a good coffee shop, right? So that's the main point of this chapter, to bring uh, the question words, to bring Esca, and to bring inversion. So with inversion, all you do to make this yes-no questions um, an open-ended question, you add the question word before the inversion. Pourquoi aimes-tu aller au cinéma? Uh, avec qui aimes-tu aller au cinéma? With whom? Why? Okay. So it works the same way, the same structure, but ESCA is not part of it, right? Inversion is its own version. Okay. There's a vocab that you can look at on Competence 4. It's for the coffee shop, okay? And this is you being very polite, right? Vous êtes au café. Qu'est-ce que vous allez prendre? What are you gonna take? And in French, to take also means to consume, right? Qu'est-ce que vous allez prendre? Je voudrais. Pour moi. Je vais prendre. And if you go to the textbook, they are help you. They can help you the vocab to pronounce all of these vocabulary words. What I wanted to do finally is to look at the numbers from 30 to 100 in French because they are very different from the ones in English. So from 30 all the way to 69, things in French look really fine, right? You have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1 through 10, right? With 0. Then 11 through 20, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then you have 20 and 1, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and that's where we left off last time, right? If you have trouble remembering, just look at the at the YouTube video that I posted on Professor Videos for the numbers, and you can go back to the preliminary chapter in which they explain this, and there is someone also giving you the numbers as well. So what's new here? It's 30, 40, 50, and 60. So repeat after me, please. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. In French, you don't pronounce the ou here, so it's not quoi, it's like car. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. And then you have 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. So that's as far as we go. 69, that's something that we have in common, right? 6, 9, right? 6, 8, 69, 69. 70, it's 60, 10. 71 is 60, 11. 72 is 60, 12. 73, 60, 13. And all the way to 60, 19, which is 79, right? So repeat after me, s'il vous plaît. 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. Okay, so 79. So you go from 60 to 79, counting from 1 through 19, right? 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 710, 711, 712, 712, 713, 714, 715, 716, 7, 7, 7, 7, 60, 17, 60, 18, 60, 19, and 80 is 4 20s. 80, 81, 82, 83. So from 80 to 99, it's going to be 1 through 19. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. 89 is 89. 90 is 90. 4 20s, 10. 90. And then from 90 to 99 is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, up to 19. 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, that's 99, and century, 100, 100. Okay, so you can go back to the videos that I provided for you and the videos on the textbook to practice, right? And that's the end for chapter, I believe this is chapter 2, yeah? And if you have any questions, make sure to email me. You have a test right after competence, after chapter 2, and we'll begin in my next video with chapter 3. Okay? Yeah, again, email me if you have any questions. Have a good day. See you soon. Bye-bye.